A man who fired a gun at the Chiefs Super Bowl rally and celebration back in 2024 was sentenced yesterday, but not for murder in connection to Lisa Lopez Galvan's shooting death. Dominic Miller took a plea deal, pleading guilty to one count of unlawful use of a weapon. His second-degree murder charge was dropped. He was given a 2-year prison sentence with credit for time served. The case raising questions about Missouri's self-defense laws. KCTV5's Grace Smith joins us now live at 5. Grace?
Brad, Melissa Johnson spoke very passionately today defending her office, but calling out Missouri's self-defense laws, saying they are failing our community. She handed us a chart showing just how often that law has forced her office to walk away from cases. So take a look here. In 2025 alone, Johnson's office declined 57 cases because of this law. She says it sets an extraordinarily high bar, requiring prosecutors to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that a defendant was the initial aggressor and was not acting in lawful self-defense. Now, in the Chiefs parade case, she says the evidence showed Miller did not fire first. Ballistics could not confirm his shot killed Lisa Lopez Galvan. Now, under Missouri law, that was enough to drop the murder charge. Now Johnson is pushing lawmakers to change the law, including a proposal to stop anyone from justifying lethal force in response to a minor assault.
But we must be productive and direct our frustration at the laws governing these cases, not exclusively the prosecutors and judges sworn to follow them. We will not file charges we cannot prove just to make a statement. We'll keep working with lawmakers to make tweaks to the laws failing our community.
Now today, the Lopez Galvan family sent us a statement saying in part, quote, "We are saddened by the outcome of the plea agreement. This was not the resolution we desired and had hoped that the case would proceed to trial so that a jury could hear the evidence and have the opportunity to make the decision." Now, Johnson wasn't able to talk any more about this case as there are 2 other cases involving this shooting. We will keep you updated. In Kansas City, Grace Smith, KCTV 5 News.
Grace.